And growing up, I was always carrying some kind of camera around, but not really with like an objective. And then when I got to college, I kind of stopped taking photos. And then after college, I moved to California in 2010, and that just reinvigorated my love of taking photos. I was wanting to document, everything because the landscape was so diverse and different coast. And after living in California for a few years, I went to graduate school and I moved to the Bay Area. And when I moved to the Bay Area, it was a lot of changes, and I didn't really have, it was just a lot of changes and transitions. And the place where I found my safe space ended up being an old landfill turned art park. And it's a really cool space, or it was, and it has insane views of, like, you can see the Golden Gate Bridge from there, you can see the whole Bay Area, and it was just filled with all sorts of different art. I don't have a picture of it, but there was this like concrete structure that this artist made, and he would go there only at night with like materials he found and build it in the dark. So it's a weird structure that doesn't really make sense. And then people like graffitied all over it. So this is kind of where in my art practice I started becoming obsessed with going to the same place over and over again to find comfort in the familiarity of this like landscape, but then also because it was so wild and so interesting, always finding something different and exploring it a little deeper. And after a while of going there, I started taking self-portraits there, where I was camouflaging myself and blending into the environment. If you can see, my little arms are there. Yeah, I think in the beginning I did a lot of very wide shots, and I was very small, so it was a lot of Where's Waldo kind of energy. But as I kept going, I zoomed in a little more. And this is also at that same place. And after doing that for a while, I decided that I wanted to start visiting other places that were special to me throughout California. And this was in Death Valley. And Death Valley was one of the first places I took a road trip to randomly with friends. And I just fell in love with it because it's the most unique desert I've ever been in. It feels like you're on Mars in the most beautiful way. And so I started going there a bunch, and it was an 8-hour drive, so it became this each way. So it became this like crazy pilgrimage that I'd take, just like going and going. Like, I'm going back this weekend. This is another shot. My little legs are over there. But yeah, what I was so obsessed with is that a lot of the rocks there are different colors. And there's a really cool area, but you're not really supposed to get into it too much because it's protected, but it's called Artist's Way, and all the rocks are like a rainbow. It's really cool. This is in Joshua Tree, where I live now, a different desert. This was a spot that was special to one of my friends, and she took me there, and then I went back by myself and made work there. Because my practice is a lot about revisiting the same place, I started printing on like clear acrylic, not acrylic, well, yes, acrylic, but I started with acetate first and was having these like flowy, transparent prints and like layering them. But it was kind of difficult to show them in a clean way. So I started printing on acrylic. And this was the first photo cube I made. The bottom of it has a mirror. So when I would show it in a space, I would, use the lights to bounce off of it. So it's a little hard to tell in the photo, but parts of it, like right here, you can see through it. So like I'm in every side. So on one of the sides you can like look through, and then like I'm in the tree if you like look through. And I wanted that to reflect like my multi-layered experience and the idea of seeing the same thing multiple times at the same time. This is a different one I made from Death Valley. And this one, the mirror is on the bottom and there's no sides. So it's two sides and a top. So the mirror is reflecting the sides and the top part down. And it's not, it doesn't have any transparent areas like the other one. This was a photo collage I did that I ended up printing on mirror. So parts of it are a little have mirror reflection. And I was layering the images again to like have that duality of experience. I also started making stop motion